Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cheerleaders, welcome to the episode of Tatami Talk. My name is Juan. This is my co-partner Anthony. It's a judo podcast for judo players by two judo players. So, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm really sore.
How did you feel after going out to lunch and then coming back to the dojo to do randori?
Oh my god. Yeah, yesterday that was a bad idea. I was like, oh, I'll just eat like half, right? I ordered a crab fried rice. So for those who don't know, I show up to the dojo. I leave my house at like 8:30ish, and I get to the dojo around 9:30, between 9:30 and 10, depending on traffic, to start the kids class at 10. And then usually I don't have time to eat breakfast. So if I have time, I'll stop by like the supermarket or McDonald's or something and grab something. But usually I don't have time. So we open up and I teach all the way until 12:30, right? 12:30, and that's your class.
Yeah.
So during your class, I either choose to help you or just I can go out and go eat, right?
Yeah,
or lift
go
weights.
get a snack or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So usually I don't lift weights because right after that is randori, like our Saturday randori. So, but I had a friend come to randori this weekend. He said, like, "Oh, let's go eat." And so we went to get Thai food, and I got a crab fried rice with crispy pork. And I decided to only eat half. But then it took them forever to eat the bill. Took them forever to bring the check, right? So I kept talking to my friend, and I just kept like eating while we're waiting, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap, there's only a quarter left. So anyway, we drove back, and then I was like, oh, this is a bad idea. So I just like moved really slow the whole time, and I avoided any like sudden movements or holding my breath or any kind of stuff to not throw up. But
well, I could get like kind of doing tachiwaza unless someone throws like you have enough control. You control people from throwing you and stuff.
Oh yeah,
but in Newaza, it's like
my first round was with Richard. So when he pinned me, I was just like, oh, I don't even want to move. And Richard's like, I don't know, he's big, right?
Yeah.
So he's just like squishing my stomach, and then Philippe was like, "Oh, did all the Thai food come out?"
Because he was, I think he was a little mad because he kept on making that joke like, "If you throw up, you're cleaning it. If you throw up, you're kicked out."
I know when I'm going to throw. I'm pretty good at not throwing up. The only time I've thrown up in judo was when we did when I was a white belt and we did that crazy conditioning stuff post randori. But yeah,
it's funny you talk about like because how long we're there on Saturday because yeah, you're there longer than I am technically. You're there like an hour and a half more than I am. And me, like, after I'm there, because I get there early, do my own little workout before I teach my class. So I get there, like, during the beginner's class. But after randori, like, I'll be hungry some days, man. I'm, like starving because I've done my own workout, taught class, done randori. So it's little tangent, guys. I'm sorry. So after we had our little barbecue, there was some salami, some cheeses, some little meats left over. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to keep these in the fridge as a snack for days and, like, on long-ass days and stuff. You have something to eat. Someone threw away less than a damn week, that stuff was at the fridge, and someone either ate all of it or threw it away. I was so pissed. And it's funny because Philippe, I noticed, started putting his name on his little power bars now that he leaves in the fridge. And I'm like, why do you do that?
Don't pull it out.
Yeah, because people don't throw it out or don't try to eat it. I'm like, I should have done that. I should have got some white tape put on there. Juan, Saturday guys snacks.
Yeah, I make sure to grab my stuff. Well, usually if I leave stuff in there over the weekend, I'm just not going to eat it anyway by the time the Tuesday or Wednesday comes along. So I don't care if they throw it out. But if I was like you guys there almost all the time, then yeah, I would put my name tag on there.
Yeah. So that you guys know, if you start a dojo with people, put your name on your food, apparently, just like at the office. All right.
Yeah. Or put laxatives on it.
No, we're not doing that kind of stuff. We're not that mean. Yet.
Yeah.
All right. So Anthony, so the World Championships just happened. Well, it just happened, but they happened a while ago.
We talked about it, yeah.
Yeah. And after that, the IJF was saying they're going to come out with the new rules. Now you're saying to come out with the new rules fully. I thought they were coming out new rules clarification.
Well, it's both. It's both because they said they're going to usually the way it works is they post Olympics, they try out all this stuff, right? And then after the World Championships, they tweak the rules, like saying, oh, like all these stuff, we don't like what we changed here. This is good change, but we need to tweak it. So basically the big rule changes happen post post Olympics.
Yeah.
And then post the first like 6 months, which in this case is World Championship, that's when they do the smaller tweaks. So there's no longer any big changes coming.
We think. We hope.
We think, unless you totally messed up, right? Unless they were like, oh, this thing was a super bad idea, then they might have another big change. If only that happened with like grabs. But
if only that happened with Newaza being given more time and given more weight.
Yeah, so we're expecting some tweaks and maybe some clarifications on the rules. Like, for example, you know how Gaba grabbed the bear hug?
Yes.
So they never clarified that.
We had a big talking class about that.
Yeah, they never clarified it, but they kind of pseudo clarified it without actually officially clarifying it. So now we might actually see bear hug whether you're allowed to grab the belt or your own arm, like that thing. We'll probably see that clarified. We're probably going to see officially the Osaikomi clarified, because they did do that blog post about how they were discussing the Sankaku, Yoko Sankaku clarification. I can't wait to see what people say, because Yoko Sankaku Katame is not a pin. Kodokan classification is an arm lock. Yeah. So it's a Kansetsu Waza. So technically, if you pin someone with that, it's Kamishio Gatame. So I can't wait for people to talk about that discussion.
Well, the funny thing is that most people won't even understand that. As many people that don't understand or don't know it, that just see one video or just look at it like, oh no, I know it's like, and I'm not going to say what style it's going to be, but you know what style it's going to be. It's going to complain about the entire time that don't even do judo.
Yeah. So, so we're going to see clarifications probably on the pins. I personally talked about already how I want to see clarifications or fixing the out of bound rules. I don't like that at all. Yuko,
I love the out of bound rules. I love the new one.
I don't like it. And then Yuko is going to be clarified further, even, because I think Yuko and out of bounds are my two things that I really don't like. I do really like how the new grip fighting Shidos are enforced. They're giving them a lot more time. A lot more time to work on. And I think I like all that stuff. It's just, again, just need a clarification on the enforcement side of stuff. So I don't expect to see any big changes, but we'll see when that happens. I mostly want to talk about how it's like, hey, IJF, this as of when this episode comes out, this will be the Ulaanbaatar Grand Slam happening. So will they announce the rules afterwards?
They would have to, I think, because they can't be like a week, not even a week before.
They usually hold these referee seminars in the same time that a training camp happens, or like a big tournament happens. But the cadet world championships is happening in the end of August, and the junior world championships is happening at the beginning of October. So is it going to be like, oh, we'll wait for all the world championships to finish before we announce it? Or is it going to be, hey, we'll announce it in July or August, but the cadet and junior world championships will use the old rules just this time. It's the last time. So who knows what's going to happen. I just don't want to wait till the end of the year, because as we all know, the closer we get to the Olympics, which is pretty damn close now, the closer we get the closer we get to the Olympics, the less room they have for major changes. And I think there's a lot of major changes that need to be changed, namely the Yuko stuff.
I don't think it needs to be changed. It needs to be clarified. It's just like we always talk about, refs need to enforce and have a common way to look at it. It's just
that's a big change. I don't like the head diving thing. I think they're happy with it right now with the head diving, but I don't like it. I think it's too places too much. Gives the referee too much wiggle room to determine what is safe and unsafe. But we said we're gonna do an episode about it, so we're not going to.
Well, I just tell everybody, it's like when the new rules come out, me and Anthony will do what we always do. We'll watch the video. We'll watch the damn 8-hour video. It's going to take us over 2 days to watch and stuff. Take our notes, and then we'll not clarify. We'll talk about our thoughts on it, like we always do.
Yeah, I just
do this so you don't have to.
I just really don't like how there's already people talking about these new rules. Like there was a post on Reddit asking about the pins and stuff like that, and it was like someone's shitty phone capture clip in a referee seminar during a Winter Nationals or something like that. I don't know what it was. It was some local tournament, and it was clipped out of context because it wasn't meant to be shared. Clearly, right?
Yeah.
So it was super unclear, and it's like, why are these little changes and clarifications being? Because if that person didn't upload it, we would have found out by being disqualified by doing that at a local tournament, and then the refs will come, oh yeah, last year at Astana they said this is the new change, and it's like, okay, where's the post, where's the video, where's the announcement, like why is this like game of telephone happening? So that's not going to change because yeah, not going to get into it. That's it.
All right. So yeah, so we'll get into it, guys. When the videos come out, we'll watch them. We'll give our we'll do our thoughts on them, and maybe we might make some videos on these new rule changes also with just our opinions and what we understand of them. You know, because that's one thing I really hate about some of these things that we talked about before is that the IGF judges will show at the conference will show stuff, but then you'll still get other judges from other countries, other places that say, no, but from my understanding, it sounds like this. But there's a little video from the IGF showing this.
No, it's because it's because they didn't go to the seminar. Well, it's like it's on the internet. You can look at it. It's for free. You don't even need Judo TV. No, it's not on YouTube. It's on Judo TV.
It's not YouTube no more. It's on Judo TV. Yeah. It's on Judo TV.
So it's on there. Anyone can access it.
All right, you're getting hot, aren't you? Taking your shirt off already? People, for audio listeners, that's trying to take your shirt off right now. I'm like, calm down, brother. Calm down, right?
I'll scratch my butt.
All right. So that's that. So let's get into our main topic. It's going to be a long episode, guys. It's going to be a very short one today, most likely. So some of you guys may or may not know, on our YouTube channel, we did a series called the Unsafe series. Now, this isn't part of our ban move series that we did a long time ago, which we're going to redo that. We always talk about redoing.
Yeah, we need to redo that. Yeah,
we're going to redo
that. That was during COVID.
Yeah. So now we actually do it in the dojo and stuff, more controlled area. But this was Unsafe. You know about common judo moves or just judo moves in general that people do just very unsafe. And the way we came up with this, that just Anthony was just like, this video shows the guy doing it unsafe. This guy's doing a video about it. It's just about people showing techniques that, and I sound like I'm shitting on people again. They see something on YouTube and they're like, I can do that. Or they see something at a tournament and they say, oh, I can do that. You are not Abes. All right. You are not. They can do stuff that you cannot do. Okay. So we just came up with this thing of like, we're going to show basic techniques and like things that Anthony wanted to go through, techniques that I wanted to go through, and ways that Anthony thought to be a good way to show people why it's dangerous and how to make it safer, and things I was like, well, I think I came up with the whole like wood breaking thing to show people like, this is what happens to people's knees. This is what happens to people's legs when you do something wrong, which I got a lot of people being like, that was very graphic. But so Anthony, what do you think about our series?
Yeah, I want to add to what you said. Like, basically, yes, that's part of it, but what really fueled it, and this is gonna sound kind of like drama, like we're starting shit with some people.
We're talking shit again.
I see on Reddit and on Instagram people posting about these injuries clips all the time, and a lot of times people. First of all, let's divide it up. A lot of times people will say like, oh, this is how you do it safely. Like there's some big influencers and famous people out there. And in fact, I talked about it in one of the past episodes. In one of the videos, I actually specifically pulled clips where I blocked out the face, people on YouTube showing how to do it improperly. So they're saying, hey, this is how you do it safely. And then they demonstrate it. And then it's like the completely wrong way. So, and especially on the BJJ subreddit, people listen to these kind of people more often. Yeah. So whenever someone's like, hey, like, is Tanya Toshi super dangerous? And then they'll be like, yeah, so-and-so, look at this video. It's like, why are you linking that video? Because it's like wrong, right? And then there's also the other side of it. People are saying like, oh, I've done this for like 50 years and I never hurt anyone before. It's like, great. Like I didn't wear a seatbelt for 50 years and I never broke anything. And I never like died, So it's kind of like that kind of mentality I wanted to clarify. Because it's like always about it's not what you do, it's what both people do together that increases the risk of something happening. So I wanted to show that. A third part is so a lot of times you're going to see people say like, this is how you do a technique, and there's only one way to do it correctly. And when you see the injury clip occurs, it's like, well, you should have, this is why if you do anything that's outside of that one technique that I showed you and you get hurt, it's your fault. Which is totally, as we know, there's many ways of doing techniques, and in a resisting environment, you're never ever going to 100% do that technique that way, right? So there's all these things that just kind of like try to fix the problem when the catastrophic injury has occurred already, but it's not even attempting to fix the problem in the right way. And I think the only way of fixing the problem is educating people on the mechanics of how the injuries occur and let people know the risk and have them make educated choices, right? It's kind of like a lot of the kids ride motorcycles thinking it's safe, and then it's like not statistically not safe, but it's like, why is it dangerous?
Oh, motorcycles not safe. They're coming from you. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, you sound like my wife. But no, it's like, okay, you need to know why is motorcycles unsafe. You can argue, well, it's because you're not surrounded by a metal box, right? But it's again what other people do, not what you do. And if you like, I don't want to get into a debate about lane splitting. Lane splitting can be done safely. It's just that most people don't do lane splitting safely. They use the lane splitting is safe thing as an excuse to drive like an asshole on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
But lane splitting can be done as a safety measure. It's just most people do it in an unsafe way. So I feel like these kind of like educating people like, hey, this is what it means when they say this, it's safe. And if you do it like this, it's not safe. So that's kind of what the goal of the whole series is. I also want the goal to be I actually just finished editing the wrap up video that will be coming out after probably right around the same time this episode comes out, or shortly after, because I'm still looking for some example clips and deciding if I want to include it. But I want people to look at something and be able to tell whether it's bad or not. Because after I released the Unsafe series video, I was getting a lot of DMs where people were like, hey, is this unsafe? Is this unsafe? Is this not safe? Is this safe? This guy is like famous, but he's doing that thing that you said not to do. And then I'm like, dude, don't look at the technique I showed. Look at the mechanics and see if you see that mechanic happening. And you tell me if it's safe or not. So I want to educate people in that sense. And I think we didn't fully, at least I don't think we fully did a great job in that. I think we could do better. That's an honest opinion, because if the fact that I'm getting so many DMs, people asking me. So, but there's only so much you can do in a short video segment, right? Without making it like a seminar.
Hour-long video that people aren't going to watch. And we're trying to keep these things short, simple, sweet. So we're trying to give you the bullet points of this is why this is dangerous right here. Yeah. And this, like, give you examples of like, look at what happens when it's done dangerously. Like the whole thing, I got people messaging me about why, like, how did you come up with, or why did you end up doing the things with the sticks, to simulate leg breaking? I was like, because I got it from, back when I did karate when I was younger, we used to do like these breaking like here about like, okay, this is someone's leg, you kick through the leg right here, just like how you break in the knee. So you get the arm, you break the arm this way. So it more simulates of like how to break the body. So I was like, okay, well, I can use it into judo to demonstrate if I come from my taitoshi super deep and their legs pass me, because I've had this happen to me before. I used to have a sensei at the dojo. I'm gonna say his name, Bina. Bina was crazy. Bina was a huge dude. Okay, if you ever watch Ocean's, I think it was Ocean's 13. I think.
Oh, the Ocean's 11, the bouncer guy.
Yeah, he plays one of the sumo wrestlers in the sumo scene.
Oh, okay, that's probably 13 then.
I think it is 13. He was one of the sumo wrestlers in that. Big dude, but the way he would come up for his taitoshi, it was like either you go with them or he's gonna break your damn knee and stuff. So like I've seen these things. I've had these things almost happening before. So I demonstrate to people like, this is why you do this. That's why we do Tanya Toshi. This is what happens to the knee if you come in sideways. And people don't think like, I think because we wear our gis and we have pants covering our knees and stuff, people don't see like exactly where they're hitting and where they're looking, where the pop's gonna be. Where if I showed with the stick, like this is your leg, this is where your knee would be, this is what happens if you hit it. So I thought people would be like, that's really crazy. That's a little over dramatic. Like, look, this is what people need to see. because when you watch these videos of judo players doing this, unless you watch one of those Nogi BJJ videos that I send Anthem all the time, and he's like, "Why do you send me this one? Because if I have to see it, so do you."
I know.
That's
I'm saying, why are you sending it to me? Not because it's of the injury clip, but because it's Nogi. I don't want to see Nogi clips.
But in those clips, you can actually see where the guy lands on the person's knee, or how they entangled their legs where they can't pop over, and this is why the knee pops and stuff.
Yeah. So back to your stick thing, right? I know, I don't know if you remember, but when you first was like, "Hey, I want to break the sticks to show the dangerous thing," I was like, I was kind of not 100% for it.
Yeah.
But now that we've done it, it's, I've gotten a lot of people giving me comments saying, "Hey, that stick thing really, really made me realize how bad it could be." I personally don't see it because I just see mechanics. I don't see like, "Oh wow, stick broken," right? So I guess for certain people that was needed, and that was kind of like the shock factor that some monkey brains need.
Yeah.
You know, like,
well, I had a guy message me being like, "Yeah, well, if you throw your weight on a stick, of course it's gonna break. Same thing with the person's leg or knee, man.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I didn't like it at first, is because I'm like, your leg is not going to break that way. Number one, your bones are stronger than that stick, right? So if you go against a joint, no, sorry, not a joint, against a non-joint part of the bone, it's going to have to be your full body weight, like the femur breaking or something. We've seen whole bodies dropping in the femur, or if you have like a bone deficiency disease or something. So I was like, that's not realistic. It's not going to happen. But we're demonstrating most of the time weight going against a joint in a direction where it's not supposed to go, and the joint is not as strong as the bone. So yeah, what you're seeing is, if it doesn't give, it'll snap, right? So here it's giving, so you're snapping the ligaments, but the ligaments don't snap like that. It's basically what the problem I have with. But here it's kind of like demonstrating the ligaments. We people conflate it with bone snapping, which is what the stick is. But I think if you put it into context, how it's a ligament snapping like that, then it's a lot more useful and powerful in that sense. Yeah. So in the end, I actually thought it was a great idea. We did that in the end. But look back to what you said. Yeah. So again, another thing is, people see all these Olympic clips, blah blah blah. Like, a lot of those throws is like you said, go with the throw, you're gonna snap. Yeah. Right. So that's not gonna fly for recreational people. So, and we see this happen all the time, especially with lower belts. They just see stuff on YouTube and they try and copy it. And that's another target demographic I wanted to show, was that, like, hey, don't try these things because they're getting paid to do this. Your partner's not. So
yeah, we're doing some recreation. I gotta go to work the next day. All right.
Yeah, and of course, with that, there were less comments than I thought it would be, but it was there were people that come out of the woodwork saying, if you don't want to get hurt, then go play PlayStation or something like that. Like that kind of like, whoa, it's a martial art, injuries happens. Like, I don't know at this point. Do I even need to address this at this point? Like, that's how dumb that comment is. But
you just got to keep one other thing. Like, what did Kano say? Mutual benefit. All right.
Yeah.
The whole reason, the beauty about doing judo when he created it was supposed to be that you can go hard, I can go hard. We can both go home though. We can both walk home. Like, it ends with a bow. It's not about like, oh, my goal is to hurt someone in practice today so they can't go walk home, or they need to go to the hospital afterwards.
Yeah. Our understanding of, well, the sport has evolved since then, right? So we found more ways of effectively hurting people, right? And also we learn more about safety and biomechanics. And even Kano, if you go back to how Kano developed judo, he took away all these dangerous techniques from other schools of jiu-jitsu to create judo. And even after judo was created, they removed like locks, right? They removed locks, they banned like the forbidden techniques, like ashigarami is on there. Like, it's not really impossible. It's not impossible for us to imagine how Khan would be like, oh, a lot of people are getting hurt doing that, maybe we should ban it, right?
Well, it's like his own logic. Like, I could do it. Why can't all these other idiots can't do this? God damn it! I gotta take this out now.
So, and it's not just I'm saying, oh, Kana would have banned Udagarami or something like that, right? I'm not Udagarami, Udagaishi. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's also okay for people, because we already have like, oh, cadets can't do this, juniors can't do this, right? It's also okay for you to say, hey, I have work the next day to feed my family, so I don't want this to happen to me. Like, I think it's totally okay to do that too.
Well, it's funny, like this little side story. We had a visitor come on Wednesday. He came from another dojo, had an orange belt and stuff. And during Rondori, attempted, like, it was hilarious. So I was doing Rondori, and I guess he did Kanbasami to somebody, or attempted Kanbasami. And I had like 3 citrus colors be like, Sensei, Sensei, he's trying to do scissor, he's trying to do Kanbasami. And Philippe goes over and goes, no, 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 dude, you can't do that. That's illegal. You can't do that in judo, period. And stuff.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Imagine someone actually did that and hurt their legs, and then people will be like, hey, like, you're not supposed to do that. It's like, okay, now it's too late, right?
Yeah.
So it's part of the that's another part of the goal of the series, is to educate these people on what's not safe. And what I also mentioned, it's like in a wrap-up video, how people will be like, well, they know what they signed up for, which is along the same lines of what we said, like, expect to get hurt if you're going to train judo. Not in the, and it's not like a, yes, I expect to get hurt and paralyzed, and no, I expect to not get hurt and
I sign over
kata.
to almost die every class.
Yeah, so it's like a range, right? There's acceptable risk. So I think you should educate people so that they actually 100% know, well, not 100%, but at least instead of 10% knowing what they signed up for, they're educated to know at least like 80% they know what they're signing up for. You know, like, if I do this, this can happen. So or at least I know if I train with these certain individuals, I know they won't do XYZ on me. So that's kind of part of it. So yeah, that we kind of talked about the goal of the series there already. So let's talk about behind the scenes, I guess. That's yeah.
Well, here's a little question before that. Do you have the numbers of, like, which one of those what did you get the most interaction from online from the Unsafe series?
Oh man,
which one was it?
The one that did the best in the beginning was also, because of my knee injury, I had to space out it into 2 recording groups basically. But during the first set of recordings we did, I think the last one we did was what? Okay, so we recorded Osotogari, Sumigaishi, and Drop Nage together, but then I was unhappy with how the Drop Nage turned out while I was editing it, so I was like, we need to re-record it. That's why I'm confused. So yeah, Drop Nage was his own thing, but everything before Drop Nage, at first, the Udegaishi video was really popular at first because people were like, oh, I didn't know there was a difference. Like, it was mostly like, I didn't know there was a difference, and I didn't know Udegaishi is a variation of Yoko Wakade. Like, that was like the number one thing. And then I was tempted on redoing Udegaishi because it was one of the earlier videos, and I posted on Instagram an actual injury clip of what happens when the shoulder gets ripped out.
Oh yeah.
But I forgot to include that into the YouTube video. So I was like, oh, should we do a version 2 and include it in there? But I ended up deciding not to because of how good the video was doing. And I think the point got across in the end. So I didn't decide to do that. But that was doing really well at first. And then when the Osotogari video came out, that did really well because a lot of people were like, that's how my knee got fucked up, right? That's how my knee got fucked up. And that actually eclipsed the Tani Otoshi video, because the Tani Otoshi video, again, like I said, most people were like, oh, so-and-so said it was safe, or so-and-so did it this way, right? So a lot of people felt like they already know the dangers to Tani Otoshi, so they didn't feel like they needed to watch that video. And then, of course, there are those people, they're like, what a dumb video. Like, I've done this all my life and it was safe, kind of thing, right? So
I've killed people every day of my life with this and no one's cried, okay?
yeah, so so Tani Otoshi wasn't doing that well at first because of those it got a lot of engagement but wasn't doing that well. But also the guy was doing really well because I tell you, after I released that also the guy video, 2 people that I trained with tore their knee ligaments the same way and needed surgery.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys out there. I'm sorry.
Shout out to the knee surgery, knee surgery crew. Shout out to all you guys out there.
In one instance, I went to an open mat, and then I was teaching him. I was like, "Hey, if you do it this way, it's gonna fuck up your knee, right?"
Yeah.
And then the round timer went off, and he went off and went to someone else. And 15 seconds later, I heard and I was like, "What?"
My
He was like,
knee,
"He just did that thing you said not to do to me." Like, so that that's why I'm trying to avoid, basically, right? Because if that guy watched the video, then that probably wouldn't have happened. And yeah, so he's basically rehabbing right now. Just had surgery a month ago, I think. But so the guy was doing good. But then I think recently someone must have posted my Tani Otoshi video on somewhere or something, and it just got a ton of views in the last month. So now it's, to answer your question after all this long thing, it's not just one did better than the other off the bat, but I'm pretty sure someone posted the Tani Otoshi video somewhere, so it has the most views right now. YouTube algorithms like jacked up, so I don't know. The Drop Sanagi video, though, by far had the most views for the first week. Like, in terms of just looking at the first week, the Drop Sanagi video did the best.
Okay.
And all these videos I never posted on Reddit, because all our podcast episodes almost I posted on Reddit, and these are all just through our Instagrams and organic views, because I wanted to see, without posting on Reddit, what would happen. But the thing is, going back to what we said about how I didn't think we did a good job of pushing through these ideas, right? Is one example. Someone I know watched one of the video. I won't be specific which video because it's going to make it very obvious.
Oh, I remember this story. Yeah.
One person's watched. There's two examples. One person watched a specific video and then ran a class based off of it, and totally ignored the fact that I said IJF banned this, even though it's in the title.
Yeah.
And then someone asked them, like, "Hey, is this allowed in competition?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's allowed in competition." And I'm just like, it's in the title saying it's not allowed in competition. So, yeah, but I'm just like, I don't think that's our fault at that point. If I put it in the title, like, IJF banned this, and it's like one of the first things I say in the first minute, then it's not I don't think it's my fault on how we presented the video at that point. But they also just showed how to do the technique properly, but not what the dangers were.
Yeah.
So so it's like halfway there. They showed it properly, but then you should also say how, like, you do it improperly, which I talk about in the video, how practicing it improperly in a safe manner is also important, because uke can detect when the dangers are and jump into the throw or bail out of it. The other example is, I'm just going to straight up say it, someone on the BJJ subreddit was arguing about the safety of Tani Otoshi, and then someone linked some famous guy's video, which I said is wrong, and then another guy was like, well, no, as long as you do it this way, it's safe. And then they linked our Tani Otoshi video, but they linked the timestamp of the latter half where I said, this is how you do it in a competition setting where it's less safe than the 100% safe method. So it kind of like ignored the first part where it said, this is less safe.
Just the part they liked, the part that made them sound
just the
good,
part they liked, just the part they liked. So again, I don't think that's my problem. That's just people being delusional and cherry picking their evidence. Yeah, I mean, that's
it's funny. The most video that I got, the most people messaged me about was first. It was all about the sticks. Was first thing. People were like, "That's very graphic. Juan, why'd you show that?" But it's because it's one of my main throws that I do all the time. It's a Tai Toshi video, and a lot of people are just like, "Tai Toshi's super safe. I don't know what you're talking about, Juan. Breaking a knee like this."
That's not what the data says.
I don't see the difference between what you showed and showing it dangerously with so little. It's like, no, I've had people that do it and I go back to Sensei Baina again. That would, the way he would do it, like he was gonna snap people's knees, the way it's done improperly. I've had a guy visit one time a long time ago, back when Matt was gonna do his kata for his black belt, attempt to Tai Toshi that same way and stuff, and just want to snap my knee. And it's like, man, no, people don't understand how dangerous it can be done if it's done improperly or taught improperly, you know? And that's
Yeah,
why I
I
use a
think.
stick, you know. And I'm a Taitoshi guy, and even me, like I've had to change up my Taitoshi because of my shoulder injury to make it even. I think it's super safe now for if I do to
Mhm.
people personally. I think it's more dangerous to me now than it is to them actually.
Yeah, I mean, Taitoshi is one of my best throws too, but I try not to do it. Well, for multiple reasons, I try not to do it. But one of the reasons is because I look at the statistics and I know how high the injury rate is for it.
Hmm.
Not that it's, excuse me, not that it's super high, okay, but it's like if you were to get knee injuries, number one is osotogari, number two is kosotogari, and then kosotogake on some occasions. And then number three is taitoshi usually.
Hmm.
So I'm just like, hey, I'm okay with not doing taitoshi because I'm trying to work on other throws. So why take that risk, right? I don't really want to have to throw that guy that bad.
Hmm.
So because I'm working on my uchimata all the time, so it's just like why resort back to something I'm comfortable with that also has a relatively high risk of injury. That's the way I see it. But I'm not saying if taitoshi is your main throw, then don't do it. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think part of because you're not the only one that got those messages. I actually got a couple messages too saying that I don't see the difference. I don't understand it. So I think that's partially due to how I edited it. And I
Hmm.
didn't include, I don't think I included, just like the Udagaishi, the earlier videos, I didn't take the effort to include injury clips that I found,
Hmm.
which would have taken more time, which is why the later videos were slower to come out.
Hmm.
So uh, yeah, I think the Tayatoshi clip, maybe we'll do it during the when we re-record the band series, the Forbidden Techniques.
Hmm.
Maybe we will re-record it during that time. Another thing is, since I'm talking about finding the clips, some of the clips were so easy to find. Like my go-to thing is to just look up BJ because yeah, I
Okay.
basically just look up BJJ takedown videos on Instagram, and it's like, oh
Uh-huh.
wow, this is how you do unsafe. Like it's really really easy to find certain
Uh,
things, and the ones that are hard to find are just like more judo specific, like reverse nage. You're not going to see BJJ people do it very
mhm.
often, so that's like kind of hard to find. But things that you see BJJ people do all the time, it's so easy to find dangerous stuff because of how takedowns taught improperly there. Because at the very least in judo, like we say, like, but we said it earlier before, how they're like, this is how you do it properly, right? There's this one correct way of doing it. So at least people kind of float towards that kind of
Mhm.
correct way. And then like injuries happen when it kind of like goes out of that. But in BJJ, it's like taught incorrectly in the first place anyway.
Mhm.
So people just do it incorrectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's super easy to find. And then, so I on Instagram, Instagram has like a save feature to save posts.
Mhm.
I have this one that because I go through Instagram and I save stuff that I see. Oh, I can make a video with this. I can make a video with this.
Mhm.
I usually put all the judo stuff in one category, but
Mhm.
there's so much dangerous stuff that I have to have a separate category called unsafe shit.
Uh-huh.
Basically that's the name of the album, and
Uh,
like majority of the poster comes from this one person. And how do I say this, like the fact that that person has a lot of surgeries should be like a clearly telling point is what I'm saying. So
mhm.
um yeah, so those are the two sources that I usually find the unsafe clips from and the injury clips from. And if I can't find anything from those two, then that's when I look up IJF tournaments.
Mhm.
Like Nonstop Newaza has a lot of injury clips that I posted from using, and then like Aaron, Dr. Zenage, we both like talk about this. So lately, he's given me a lot of injury clips too and unsafe clips. And I watch a lot of IJF videos, so I could also be like, oh, what was that one guy that got his knee jacked up by Toshi? So just lot of time spent watching reviewing clips, which is a hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting also when we were brainstorming about like which throws we are going to put into it, which throws we weren't going to put into
Hmm.
it. Like, I think we talked about like certain throws, like, oh no, but that's banned anyway, so it's kind of like we don't need this. Like, we're gonna. I
Yeah. Why
wanted
do
to
you
do.
want on Kani? Like, why do you want on
That's it.
Kani
I
Basami?
know.
Right?
I want to
Yeah.
do Kambasami, but it's like because everybody wants to know it. Everybody wants to look at it and see it. I kind of wanted to show like this is I really wanted to do a scissors to two pieces of wood technically. It's
Yeah.
like why are we gonna do that if it's already banned? But yeah, we
And-
try to make it to throws and moves that are done now that are like common or the spam moves like when it comes to drop throws, when it comes to
mhm.
drop Seonagis, drop Taitosh, not drop Taitosh, but drop Seonagis, drop Monotogaris and stuff. Seo Toshi's. That's the moves that are banned. They're not banned, but are spammed all the time. And like, this is why. This is why it's
Yeah.
very dangerous. This is why I don't like drop soda. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm very much like I do not like that throw. It's just such a dangerous throw in my opinion. Like, there's no way to protect yourself. Standing, no problem. All right, done properly standing, no problem. But drop, it's like you're aiming to put their head into the mat. You know?
Yeah. So I kind of for drop Nage, we kind of bundled drop Sode with it, but then when I
Yeah.
reviewed it, I'm like, I don't know if it came across as dangerous as I wanted it to be, because I think arguably drop Sode is more dangerous than drop Nage.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll make another drop Sode video. I don't know yet. We'll see. But back to what you said. Yes, originally when I guess when we were planning this, we were discussing which techniques should we include.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me was thinking, I don't want to include techniques. I want to include mechanics. Back to what I said, like I want you to know the mechanics, because from the beginning, I wanted people to understand the mechanics and not just the techniques. But I know if I made it like that title, like, hey, this mechanic is how most injuries occur, half of like none of you guys would watch this stuff.
We should come
Except for a
out looking
few.
like we're finished working on a car and stuff, got some overalls on.
Yeah, so I basically know it wouldn't attract any attention. Not that it doesn't right now anyway, but it would be even less attention, less views. So it wouldn't reach a target audience that I want it to reach. But if I said like also Tagati, one of the most dangerous throws, like then which is statistic is true, is not a it's not like I linked the research data on that video. So statistically it's true, and people will read like also Tagati, that's the throw I do. I know what also Tagati does.
Yeah.
Like again,
Well,
monkey brain, right?
We did
So
clickbait them. We'd be like, top five most dangerous throws in judo, and number one will surprise you.
yeah, but yeah, so I didn't want to full clickbait and also straight up lie, which is what some of these influencers do, right? So I want to have some truth in it, but at the same time, I'm just like, okay, we need to do techniques that demonstrate all the separate mechanics principles that I want to demonstrate. So I'll just go through them real quick, right? It's basically under rotation leading to the head, smashing into the floor. There's going putting all of someone's body weight against a joint and then reaping it. There's trapping someone's joint and then basically dropping your body weight into someone's joint. Yeah, it's not that many mechanics. If you think about it, like Kani Basami, Tanya Toshi, same mechanic, right? But if I made a Kani Basami video, people are like, oh, this is why Diana her banned. This is why it's banned. People are going to dismiss it, right?
Yeah.
But Kani and Toshi's allowed. People can relate to it. People get hurt by it all the time. So we can do that. Sumi Gaishi, a lot of people have experience in BJJ getting their head smashed to the floor. They can relate to it, and it's banned in BJJ.
Is it? I didn't know that.
In a lot of gi rule sets, it's banned when you do the head outside version. We talked about it. Also, the Gotti, people can relate, but people don't understand how planting the foot there traps the leg and sinks your body weight into the joint. Reverse Sanage under rotation, drop Sanage under rotation. Like it's just these recurring themes that I want people to start seeing, right? It's really not that complicated. And also, like we talked about Kosotogake being very dangerous too. It's the same mechanic as Osotogari. It's just a different leg, and it's easier for you to sink your weight now into that leg too. So yeah, that's where how we decided to use these certain throws. Because I've gotten requests from people. It's like, can you do one on this technique? Can you do this one on this technique? I'm just like, go watch this video. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So but at the same time,
like we can give them the mechanics of like I said, the under rotation, the sweeping the leg properly, the not putting weight on putting your weight on someone's joints. But sometimes people just need to see the exact thing, like why. And I just go back because my Taitoshi video, like when I'm happy about that video because I think it turned out well. Is that this is why. Like people are like, well, it's totally safe. I don't know why. It's like, no, but there are people that do it this way. There are people that
Yeah.
block the knee, you know?
So
It's
I when I edited it, I thought it was well too, but
mm,
you got we this is the challenging part about making this videos is when we
yeah.
plan it, or because I write the scripts, right? When we plan it, we have to imagine we don't know judo.
Mm,
Basically, that's the low. That's like the floor. The floor of
mm,
people's understanding is if I don't know anything about judo, like um, then how would I see? How would I feel like this is dangerous? So it drop Sanage, right? The thumbnail I use on I'm looking at it right now, drop Sanage, thumbnail is a guy
mm,
literally face planting and his
yeah.
doing a
You
scorpion
want to know what we need? You want to know what we
thing.
need? That is terrible stuff. Just because it's funny because I just watched a video on it the other day, like yesterday. We get those Mortal Kombat ones. You know, it's like they go, yeah, then they go the inside. You see the bodies, the bones breaking and cracking and stuff and splitting in half. We
Well,
need to get those
that was,
finishers
we're gonna have to start charging really high Patreon memberships for
for that.
for
Get
that
those
kind of editing.
graphics.
Yeah,
Yeah, just take it off as Mortal Kombat. They won't notice.
yeah, but basically what I'm saying is like to us it makes sense, like which is a huge problem with a lot of the good videos out there because I'm not going to say everyone out there is bad except for Tanya and Toshi. I think almost everyone's video out there for Tanya and Toshi is bad.
Hmm.
Even my own video for Tanya and Toshi right now, I still think I could have done better. But I think even the good ones out there, they're explaining it from a way where you understand judo
Hmm.
or biomechanics or something. Like it feels like it's like explaining how to ride a bike to someone that already knows how to ride a bike, kind of thing. Does that make
Hmm.
sense?
Yeah.
Well, they can't embody and feel it. So that was the really challenging part is how do I explain and demonstrate and show these things or even um I think that might be the next part if we were to redo or do an extension series is kind of drill exercises and drills that where people can feel the dangers of these
Hmm.
things without actually getting hurt.
Hmm.
So people won't be like, oh, that's what happens in slow motion when this happens. So um, yeah, that's the really challenging part about making those videos was this, like planning it, wording it. And it's not the more the better because I had to cut it. We have like 30, 40 minutes of clips and usually cut it down to like 10, right?
Yeah.
Or even fewer if you include the examples of the injuries. So that was like knowing what to keep and what to take out. And sometimes I'm like, damn, we should have like reworded it this way, but I don't want to go to dojo and re-record it. So I would just
Yeah.
voice over it or something. So those parts are really hard. What do you think was the challenging part about from your perspective while making this series?
My so I think it's like two parts with it. One, showing how dangerous a move can be, but protecting you at the same time.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah, because
I
yeah,
don't want to hurt you. I don't want to put my weight on you. I
yeah,
don't want to drop you on your head. But I need to show like this is what it's going to look like. And that's why the more example videos are better when they come into that because they're like, hey, those guys just kill each
yeah,
other. Who care about them? But when I'm demonstrating with you, it's like I don't want to drop Anthony on his head. I don't want to put too much weight on his knee, which I know he already has a bad knee and stuff.
yeah.
That's why like going back to like the sticks, where I thought the sticks were a great example of certain these things that show what happens.
We should have just borrowed a light uke because Hanpan TV has a members only video
Uh-huh.
on basically under rotation. They just explain it in a different way than we did, and
Mm-hmm.
they picked a really light uke that they can just literally hold upside down like this. So I think one of those things that we probably should have done is borrowed someone that was
Really.
really light.
What was I gonna say? Do you remember that old TV show Mythbusters back in the day?
uh, yes.
We need to build our own Buster.
Oh man, like we need to find one of those really lightweight people and be like, "Hey Eric, can we borrow you?"
And of
Like,
course, it'd be Eric. Philippe would kill us if we heard Eric.
yeah. So what that was one part, right? What was the other part?
Mm. No, it's just that like when it comes to doing stuff like showing how dangerous it is, but at the same time doing it safely when I'm actually doing stuff to you. To
Hmm.
me, that was like one of the most hardest parts. Because doing the throws, like I know how to do all these throws and stuff. I know how to make them safe. I know how to do them dangerously
Hmm.
and stuff. That's easy for me. I think also is maybe trying to get the, like I said, with certain throws, trying to get the proper angle for certain things. Like this, I kind of wish we were a 3-man team instead of just a 2-man team like we are.
Yeah, if we had a cameraman, that was definitely would have made everything a lot easier.
Yeah, because you tell them like, hey, just come in right now, get a close up on this shot. The way I'm gonna do this instead of like, okay, stop. We got to move the camera together right here, try to get that same shot and stuff. We need to get little Matt. Tell little Matt next time to be our camera guy. All right.
Yeah. I mean, where our schedule, like having our both schedules to align is really hard enough. So getting a third person is going to be more difficult. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think was one of the hardest things to do?
Writing the script, definitely. Number one was because of time. Like it's so hard to find time to write the script. And then number two is I already talked about this, right? Like I have problems. I don't want to make myself sound like I'm smarter than I am because I'm not, but like my brain just goes so fast and goes in like I don't know if it's ADHD or something. I hate like just self-diagnosing, but I'm like thinking of multiple things in parallel. So when I write stuff that is meant for like a linear, like one by one, line by line thing, it's really hard to organize my thoughts. So what I found it out, this is one of the things that I really enjoyed about making the series is other than learning a lot about editing, because I ran into so many issues with audio syncing and frame rate matching, all that kind of stuff. So I learned a lot about video editing, but I also learned how to take notes better. Because instead of writing notes line by line, which is what I did in the beginning, I started doing mind maps where I just like jotted down everything in my head, like that came up, just popped up, and reorganized it afterwards. And I read about this before, so I should have done it in the first place. I was just too lazy to implement it. But our brains are not meant to be thinking linearly like that in the first place. So I definitely learned a lot about note taking and organizing my thoughts that way. So that's how I because we did the videos like drops in by technique, right? But when I planned it, it was like 3 videos at a time because it's like under rotation, right? I categorized by under rotation, which those are under rotated, drops in Nage, right? And then reverse in Nage. So like all these things are like a web that's like tangled together. And then now I'm like, okay, how do I organize it so that it turns into separate videos, right? And then which principles do I say in which videos and how do I word certain things? So it's like all that planning takes a lot of time. And after I create the outline, I'm like, okay, this makes sense to me. It goes back to what I said, right? This now makes sense to me because this is literally my mind map, my brain map, right? But for someone who just started judo or someone who doesn't give a shit about this, how do I make it sound like it makes sense or that they care about? So and obviously which injury clips do I want to include, because there's some clips I included, like the Tani Utoshi video, for example. Someone mentioned like, hey, the clip you used in the thumbnail is not Tani Utoshi, it's Uranage. I'm like, yes, but he started out trying to do Tani Utoshi and he still ended up sitting on the guy's leg. So that goes into that mechanic we're talking about. So I wanted to like really make sure I picked the clips that focused on that. So yeah, definitely the outlining and thinking and planning was the hardest part, as it should be. I think for those other engineers out there, like a lot of times people ask me like, how much time do you spend coding? I'm like, almost none. Like at this point, especially with ChatGPT, at this point, 90% of the time should be spent.
Yeah, cheater.
90% of the time should be spent on planning and everything. So that's how challenging this video was. But there's still a lot of topics we can get into, but regarding the Unsafe series, but I don't know how I would plan it at this point, you know, where it would be valuable, because I could like make more videos about what's going on in our brains, you know, regarding the safety stuff, but like would it actually affect the way people train? Would it affect the way people think? Like I don't think so. So because it doesn't matter if you understand something, but if you can't implement it, if you understand it but you can't implement it in your practice, then it's kind of a waste of time. I think it's just a mental masturbation is what I call it. So
now we're demonetized again. God damn it, Anthony.
So what do you think? What was your favorite part about the whole? whether it's a favorite video, favorite part about the whole experience, or
My favorite part was throwing you on your head that one time. No, I'm joking. uh, I
we
don't know.
didn't
Was
have
my
any. I didn't get hurt at any point, right?
No, I didn't.
There
No,
wasn't like a hard fall or anything. I can't remember.
nothing too crazy. I think. Like I said, I was trying to protect you the
I
entire
think
time.
I think the reverse Sanage video was the hardest part.
I think that was your
Yeah,
scariest one because you didn't know what was
that was the
going on.
scariest one. Yeah,
You're like, all right, Anthony, I'm gonna throw you for real on this reverse Seonagi now. You're gonna get some air on
because it
this
was
one.
actually tweaking my shoulder when we did it slow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
I was like, okay, we're gonna get some air now, Anthony. I'm gonna throw you on this
yeah,
one. Okay, okay. Because reverse Seonagi, it's one of those crazy ones where you don't know when you're gonna fall.
yeah.
You're getting torqued in a weird direction. You're going behind. You have no idea when you're gonna hit the mat. No idea when to slap and stuff.
I feel like I was getting reverse head spiked, basically.
No. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. So what was your favorite part?
That was pretty fun.
You said the reverse Sanage was pretty fun.
No, my favorite part, and again, it's gonna go back to my stupid sticks thing. It's just like my favorite part was just showing how dangerous moves can be and reality of it using sticks. You know, I think that was my favorite part because I was one of my goals was just trying to show people like how dangerous something can be. Like I said, we have the gi pants on. You don't see the knee bending. You don't see it popping the wrong way. So most people was like, oh, he just maybe overextended it. But showing with the sticks, show like this is what can happen to a tendon. This is what can happen to your knee joint. This is what can happen to your leg. Period. So I think that was one of my favorite
Yeah.
part. And just like I said, I got a lot of I would say heat, but I got a lot of people
Mhm.
like you're disgusting one, you're crazy, that was terrible. Why did I have to see that? Like to show you what can happen. If you're not gonna watch no gi, I gotta snap some sticks.
Mhm. Yeah. For me, I think the Osotogari video was my favorite,
Mhm.
just because of how uh one, it was easy to make. I thought for how easy it was to make, I think it had the most impact.
Mhm.
Because it is the most highest percentage of knee injuries occur that way, and I also enjoyed finding the clips for it if it made sense.
Mhm.
Like I don't know how to describe it, but finding the injury clips for it was just like, oh,
Easy.
it wasn't easy actually,
Really?
but because it's like how there's no tag where you can find like, oh, list me all the injury clips. I actually tried
Ask
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
I actually tried ChatGPT. It's not good at videos at all for that. And um yeah, so actually going through these videos and watching these amazing matches, and then once I find it, it's like, oh, this is such an it's like finding a rare thing that's happened but obvious. Does that make sense? Because sometimes people's knees get jacked up by a Sotogari, but it's not obvious how it happened.
Mhm.
Because you just be like, oh, that looked safe, but why is the guy grabbing his knee, kind of thing,
Mhm.
right? Afterwards. But then when you find those really obvious ones where the weight's like sinking right into it, it's really
It's kind of like one of
satisfying.
those
Yeah.
some of those heavyweight harai goshis. Oh no, no makikomis. Those heavyweight makikomis
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, is that a sotogari or are they going on makikomi? I
It,
can't tell. They're heavyweights.
it is it is, but it started off as a Osotogari
Yeah.
attempt, right? And then it turned
Yeah.
into like a Harai Makikomi, whatever, Osoto Makikomi, whatever, right? So it goes back into like the the safety thing we talked about, but it's like finding something that's like, oh, people see this and they're gonna know, damn, this is what can happen. That's what's satisfying about it. And
Mm,
also, Sotogari video was the only one where I really deep dived into like the research data and stuff,
mhm,
because it's easy to find. Again, not going to call it witch influencer, but it's easy to find research paper and then not read through it and just go read the abstract and conclusion and
mhm,
then just like blast it and say, hey, research says this, but then they don't look at the how the numbers were what the sample size was, how
mhm,
the test was done, how what were they, recreational judokas, or are they high school judokas, are they like IJF judo, like they don't look at how the process of the study was done and
mhm,
whether it's peer reviewed, because some of these are not peer reviewed. I also learned something recently from talking with Dr. Sanage, was that like most graduate some papers are like considered like gray. I forgot the term. Basically, it's not super reliable. It's not high quality, basically.
mhm,
So, because I would read some of these papers, I'm like, but this is like approved by someone that's well known.
mhm.
But I feel like this absolutely trash. Is it just me, or? And then he was like, yeah, like graduate papers are kind of like, like. So he said like the bar is not that high for those kind of papers. So
Mhm,
I try not to include that kind of stuff
mhm.
in there. right? And sometimes there might be data that's not, well, it's real data and it's good data, but it's misrepresented. Like in also the guided video, I talked about how what cardiac arrest is a major cause of death in Japan. And a lot of it is, again, it's not stated in the paper, but a lot of it is heat related injuries that cause cardiac arrest, which basically translate to you're not allowed to drink water when it's hot.
Well, it's like you've told me you've been to Japan during the summertime when it's hot and humid.
Yeah.
I can imagine being hot, humid, inside a dojo, no AC, not allowed to drink water, practicing hard.
Yeah, basically.
It's like American wrestling, kind of, except we do it in winter with heaters on.
Yeah. So that has nothing to do with Osotogari or judo being dangerous, other than the Japanese training culture being dangerous, right? For certain, which is why we saw the scandals come up and all that stuff. That's a different discussion, right? But that's why you have to really put context in the data, because data is useful, but it can also be mishandled and misinterpreted to show what you wanted to say, basically.
Oh yeah.
So it was really fun to go through all those papers in that sense. So yeah, that's all I had. That was I mean, I had fun talking about that video, you know. So that's why I really had fun making that particular video. But all
right,
by far my least favorite video is the Tanya Toshi, definitely. Because I knew how much shit we're gonna get for it because of the,
it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know. But it's also, I will give this to people because I like doing tiny, like when I'm lazy sometimes. I just do Tanya Toshi. I spam Tanya Toshis to people sometimes. I feel like being lazy. As safe as I can do it, it also depends on how the person fights out of it. Sometimes they can hurt themselves, but I understand, you know. You try to do it as safe as you can. Someone else will step the wrong way or move the body the wrong way. It gets caught, and then I'm the asshole.
Yeah, the way I describe it is like, imagine you're in a room, you're in a maze, right? You put someone in the maze, and you're like, if you touch the walls, you're gonna die, right? If the walls are really wide, then it's not a problem, right? But if you like shrink the walls into like barely wider than their body width, then if they touch the walls and then die, and you're like, hey, you touched the walls, you died, it's your fault. So that's kind of like what Tiny, it's like if you do a more effective but less safer version of Tiny Utoshi, then yeah, it's kind of their fault for resisting in a certain way, right? But it's also your fault for picking the higher percentage
injury rate one.
Well, the higher percentage effectiveness was also higher percentage injury rate one, and then blaming on Uke. If you're training recreationally, then just pick the one that's safer. You know, I don't. It's not that hard to understand that, but people will always not look at evidence and just look at anecdotal evidence. Like, I've always trained this way. It's super safe, but not look at like, hey, biomechanically, this is not safe because your hip's trajectory is going into their joint. But
yeah.
All right.
So with that, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at @the_1. You follow Anthony at Anthony Throws on Instagram. You follow Tatami Talk on Instagram at Tatami Talk. You see our videos that we just talked about for the past, I don't know how long now, on YouTube. They're all there for free.
I'll link it in we have a playlist. I'll link in the description. So yeah.
It's all there for free on YouTube. All you gotta do is look up Tatami Talk. All right. Anthony has a Substack still out there. If there's any videos you guys want us to look at, go over things you want us to do ourselves and stuff, not just talking shit to us, which we don't mind. Anthony loves when you talk shit to him, actually, personally.
I'll actually, if you have any videos, because people have sent me videos to review on whether it's safe or not. If you have any videos you want me to look at, assuming it's not some famous person, I don't mind doing it privately. But if it's just like your video or your friend's video, I don't mind like making a video short out of it. Yeah.
You can always send it to us at tatamitalk@gmail.com. You also follow us on Threads, and that's the last one of all the socials we're on.
I have Threads now, by the way. I signed up, but
oh, you're all excited about it. No, I have Threads now. Doesn't matter. No one's on it, Anthony. All right.
I'm only using it on PC because I didn't want to install the app. I was too lazy, and I can't. Maybe I'm getting old, but I can't figure out. I'm just like, how do I follow people?
X, Threads, Blue Sky. That's one of the social ones that I don't get that much.
I use Mastodon.
Mastodon.
I use Mastodon. That's what I use, but nobody uses it. So I just kind of use it as like blog, basically, mini blog, which is what Twitter was in the beginning. At the very beginning, at the very beginning, for those Gen Zs that don't remember, Twitter was supposedly a microblog, is what they sold it as before it turned it into.
Do you want to? I don't know if you're old enough for this. You might be too young for this. Also, should we go create? No. You want to go create a live journal for Tatami Talk?
Oh man, live journals even before Zanga, right?
Yeah,
I just remember Blogger. And then it got bought by.
Oh yeah, Blogger. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Screw it. Let's go back to Tumblr.
Tumblr. Tumblr's still around.
Tumblr's still around. Yeah.
They just got really strict on their stuff. That's why people left.
Yeah, they got rid of all the porn, which is what it was for.
Oh my god. Y'all went to X now.
Yeah, all the porn went to X. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's why I hate using X. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. So with that, smash that like and subscribe button, all right? And don't forget to
subscribe to us on Threads, I guess. And slap the mat.